All right, again, this video is for graphing, so if you need help on finding any of the values, just shoot me an email and I can make you a video about that. All right, so our hole is at 0, -5. There's our hole. Our vertical asymptote is at -1. Horizontal asymptote happens to be at 0. X-intercept is at 5. All right, and then we have, what else do we have? No y-intercept, right? So that's kind of it. That's what we've got. Okay, so remember, you've got to choose. Am I going to follow the lines along the top, or am I going to follow them along the bottom? Okay, so on this left-hand side, we don't have anything to work with. So what we could do is we could plug in a point if we need to, or we could use context clues from the other side. Totally up to you. But I am going to plug in a point. So we have an equation up there, y equals x, you know, the equation that you're given, that you're told to work with. If we plug in any value in for x, it'll tell us what the y is. So I could choose -2, -3, anything to the left of the asymptote. I'm going to do -3. So if I plug a -3 in to that, then I'll get a solution, right? A y value. That'll help me with the rest. Okay, so -3 minus 5 is -8. Negative times a negative is a positive, so negative times a negative makes positive 24 when we do 3 times 8. Then -3 plus 1 is -2. -2 squared is positive 4. 4 times -3 is -12, which simplifies down to 24 divided by -12 is -2. So when x is -3, y is -2. All right, -3, -2. We could have plugged in more points if we wanted to. All right, so we follow the asymptote. It tells us how to graph. It shapes our graph, and then we follow it down. So by finding that point, we knew it had to go here, okay? All right. Now, the other side, okay? Now, we do have multiplicity at our asymptote, which lets us know that we know the arrow will be going the same direction. If there's ever even multiplicity means the same direction. If that would have been cubed, that's odd, then it would have had to be up here, right? But even multiplicity means you're going to go the same way around that asymptote. Now, I don't even need to look at that, though, because I had the point over there, okay? If I try to come from above, there's nothing to let me go down to hit my hole. And remember, the hole is part of the graph. It's just a blank spot in the graph, but I still have to, the line is going to go through it, right? We always pass through our hole. So even if I started up above, I would have known quickly that I have to go this way, okay? Now, we do get a cross, but it's going to stay close to that horizontal asymptote along the x-axis, okay? Now, if I wanted to clean this up, I could have found a little bit more points to make it nicer, but that's all. That's all you got to do. Now, if you want to double check any of these, like I said, just plug them in. Just plug in the values. This is, and you can know, but that's what it should look like.